All right, we are live. Let's just wait for people to pile in here for a second. I'll go over why I'm doing this stuff now live. The video can still be saved, still uploaded to YouTube. You can still catch it later if you don't catch it live. But I figured with the Let's Talk and the Positive Tuesday stuff that I can get more interaction doing it this way. That way it's on Facebook and then it's on my YouTube channel. So that way, people want, they can comment. So, yeah, that is exactly why I'm doing this. And today is just a kind of like a dry test run. I'm doing the state of things. I have this world is pretty fucked up at the moment. I did a wrestling commentary YouTube video earlier. I did it on Eddie versus Brock Lesnar. And of course, I turned the sound off. There was no sound, but the moment I posted it's now been blocked. You can't watch it. WWE quickly got on that shit because I recorded it from the WWE Network because it was the easiest way to find that match. I'm just gonna have to find it, online. Find a different match to call. I really liked it. Like doing it. It's fun. I get to be loose and be my messed up self. No, I'm not answering that. Little Power Rangers theme song in the background. Probably get this video shut down on Facebook. Let's see. So, this is one of those things I'm not going to wait entirely for everybody to show up. Let's see. I will tag some people though. Boom. 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 Get it, boomer. Boom. 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 Let's just type in one more person. I can't spell. Boom. Done. Save post. Alright, so now people are tagged. Let's give it a second. Start talking. So, like I said, this is going to be the state of things. This is about everything, man. Things are so fucking messed up, and this wonderful country of ours is being divided even more and more and more. It's just so nuts, man, that we cannot get divided, or we cannot fucking pull together. And when we do pull together, even that gets divided. Let's take these protesters for example. God, I love peaceful protesters. I mean, that's what Martin Luther King Jr. set out to do. Rosa Parks, that's what she set out to do. All these great people. Gandhi was a peaceful person. That's what they teach, love, and doing things the peaceful way that will triumph, that will get a reaction, the same reaction back. Not all the time, but sometimes. But within that, you get, I'd like to call them three categories of people within these protests. The one that actually want change, and God love them. Got to love them. God loves them. We all love them. I want change. And that's the way you get change, is you voice your anger and your your feelings, your sadness, and then you come up with a way to fix it. And just complain about something without having a strategy to fix it. Then you got protesters that just want to, an excuse to burn shit to the fucking ground. Because that's the type of people. We do have those people on this planet that would just, they think that, the world owes them something. The government owes them something. They, instead of working hard for it, getting it on their own. And then you have people who just want to be a part of something that they think is going to be historic. They want to be in the right side of history. They want to be remembered. I can give a shit less if I fucking remembered. I really don't, man. That's not why I'm here. I don't need to be... I would like to live in an era where there is nothing. You know what I mean? There's, like, no need for protest. There's no need for change. Everything is fucking working. And be known for the most boring fucking time frame in history. That'd be fantastic. That's not happening because everybody hates something, wants some kind of change. We just had this recently in here, Kalamazoo. I'm not too far from them. The Good Boys. Oh, it's a group of men who were protesting in Kalamazoo. They're coming. They've set this up, I think, a month in advance. It's been, there's a heads up. But if you, John's seen this all over the place, and he likes to do his research. So he did his research, and you have to go to 2 pages of Democratic liberal shit to get to their actual website. Now on their website, there's no mention of hate. There's no mention of fucking white supremacy. There's none of that shit on their actual website. But if you got CNN, they're a hate group. So, with CNN forcing that shit and Facebook forcing that shit down everybody's throats, instead of doing research, people just believe in the news. Which baffles me, because I don't believe in anything the fucking government tells me. Because all of it, it's just a load of bullshit. Fox, CNN, they're on separate sides. There is nobody who calls shit down the middle, man. And it's okay in their eyes to do it. So, a church organized a counter protest to this protest, which I find funny because when this stuff happened, when this originally started happening, Black Lives Movement and Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, people on that side would always go, well, you're protesting my protest? That's fucking stupid. Now you got the same people protesting a protest. Like, come on. I hate fucking hypocrites. They drive me absolutely nuts because they only think what they're doing is right and everybody else is wrong. That's the one thing that I've learned in life. Just because you feel a certain way does not make you right. It does not make you righteous. It just means you feel that way. Me feeling a certain way does not make me right. Doesn't make me wrong. It just means I feel that way. Anyways, so of course with the 2 protests there was a couple fights that broke out, and here we are with people bitching, where are the fucking police? Where are the police? They knew they were coming. Why didn't they protect the peaceful protesters? I give you 2 reasons why. 2. First of all I've heard in the past few months, and especially with the Kalamazoo as of late, is that the police used pepper spray and tear gas on peaceful protesters. It's all in the fucking news. Police are out to get peaceful protesters. Well, if you're fucking putting their name through the mud and telling them that all they do is not protect you, I wouldn't fucking show up either. Like, you cannot do that, man. You cannot tear somebody down and then expect them to do something for you when you want it done. It doesn't work. And 2, these are the same people that, defund the police, defund the police, until the fucking day you need them. And it's all like, where are they at? But that's the thing, man. They're never going to be fucking happy. Because even if they did show up, one side or the other would bitch because they were there. Well, if the police weren't here, like, Jesus. I don't really use names and stuff because I don't want to But so there's another thing going around. This little boy was shot and killed by a black man while riding his bike. Okay? And there's outrage for justice. Should be. When everything doesn't happen. But the other side likes to say too, I've seen the other side say, well, good, little white boy dead. But I'm not going to compare to people I know with that. That's not what they do. However, they do this. Well, that guy, his murderer is in custody right now. Where's, comparing it to another case, why isn't this officer in custody? Well, for starters, with the original death that caused all of this rioting and stuff to start, that officer is in jail. Secondly, I don't know the ins and outs of the second case of the young lady who was wrongfully killed by a police officer. I don't know what was going on. I know that was a unlawful search warrant or something like that needs to be investigated. Some cases aren't clear and cut like others. What's up? Say hi. So I know who's watching. I really hate how people take two different things and compare them as they're like apples, really apples to oranges, and then bitch because the other side will do the same thing to go, that's two different things. For those who don't know, this is how the government works. This is how the justice system works. The federal government does not control state government. I'd say that again. The federal government allows states to do what they want with their justice system. Because that's how it should be. States separate from government. There's some things that govern other, a broad spectrum, and some things that aren't. Everything should be investigated. That's the justice system. Innocent until proven guilty. Here's my problem with that little boy. I'm not looking for justice in the way that you think. The man is in jail, and he'll be tried, and I will have hope. Not high hope, but I have hope that the justice system will eventually prevail and everything will work out. That's not what I want. I want to know why this little boy doesn't get televised funeral. Isn't going to get a fucking televised funeral. Why this little boy is not going to, his parents aren't going to get a folded flag. Why a man who, now we've seen the whole thing, who was higher than a kite, complaining about not breathing before he got on the damn car, with police officers who were being utmost nice to him. Is it justified putting a knee in the neck? Fuck no. Those guys should have left him alone. He was on the ground, handcuffed. Should have left him the fuck alone. Just let him be. But then how serious with his I can't breathe? And everybody wearing these I can't breathe stuff. The dude was claiming he couldn't breathe while in the car while nobody was touching him. He was on drugs. I think he went into a panic attack. And again, I'm not gonna go into details, but he was made a hero. But we can't get any of that. This little boy's getting minimum media attention because it's not a big thing. And that pisses me off. This is the state we're in, and we're only the social media and social justice warriors and all this hero crap only pertains to people of color and people who are going to put them in the spotlight instead of, and there's some people who are doing this purely for justice, and God bless your hearts. Like, that is phenomenal. I absolutely love that shit. But I just don't get it, man. It should be justice for all. We talk about and before I get into all this stuff, I do watch everything. CNN, Fox. I get all bits because, again, usually the truth is in the middle. So, when I speak about this, it's because I heard many black people who I watch, the twins being one of them, who have a viewpoint. I listen to them, and we just so happen to agree on certain things. I do believe in Black lives. Fucking absolutely not stupid, and know that there is sexism, racism. I know there's hate. I know there is. Can't squash hate with more hate. However, organizations suck because they put money in the pockets of fucking politicians. That's why they're built. They're built to make you feel guilty because you don't believe in if you don't believe in them, and they make the rich richer. That's fucking it, man. Because here's the thing, Black Lives Matter. Well, then how come you're not in Chicago stopping the black on black crime? If Black Lives Matter, then how come when a black man or woman, because I'm watching this black woman speak about United States history, following all of that she's watching and learning some stuff I didn't know. Why are they called Uncle Toms? Why are they hated on more by their own than by anybody else? And there's some statistics that go around that people like to use the same fucking thing but use it differently. Okay? So the right likes to say that cops kill white people more than any other people on this planet. Okay, but if you look at the demographic, especially when we talk about males, they're only 6%. Black males only count for 6% of that study. So the other side likes to go, well, there's more white people, so of course they're going to be killed more. However, there's another study that they don't say. It's in that same study that 6% of black males commit the most amount of violent crimes. That makes up the most amount of violent crimes. 6% of that black population. If your early argument was true, then white people would be all across the board. But it's not. It's just statistics, man. Because there's all sorts of factors in there that you have to understand that don't, that change things dramatically or by a little bit if it's factored in. But nobody does any research. We allow ourselves to be informed by social media and by the news, which is just ran on TV, which runs ads, which needs viewerships in order to make money. So of course they're gonna do what they need. Hello, viewer. Let me know who's in here. Say hi so I can see, because I can't see who you are unless you actually interact with the chat. So just type in the good old hi so I can properly shout you out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Oh, come on, don't be shy. Too many shy people, man. And just not shy people drive me nuts. This whole thing drives me nuts. I am all for the American people. I am not for the American government. Because the government is not for... It's Jay. Well, no. Anyways, fucking government can't give a shit less, man. They just want to be... just want to get rich. Hence why a little boy who's gunned down on his bicycle doesn't reach as many people as a black man killed by a white cop. Like, you just listen to those headlines. Young boy shot by black man on his bike. Unarmed black man killed by white cop. We're in a society that is more important. Like, there are, and when I get into this Black Lives Matter argument with people, they always like to say the same thing. It's always the same argument. Black people are in danger. All lives matter, but black people are in danger right now. No, they're not. As you can see, there are hundreds, thousands more children go missing every year than black men shot by white cops. Black people aren't the only... I'm not saying they're not in danger. I'm just saying they're not the only ones in danger. And if you want to say in danger, well then why aren't you stopping black on black crime then? I've heard a bunch of black people say the same thing. Why aren't you stopping black on black crime? Why does it have to be a thing when it becomes a race thing? Now it's a thing. Now! Government is not for the people, and they never will be because of them. You're fucking right. Absolutely. And they keep us divided. That's how they keep their power. If the United States, if the people of the United States gathered together and rallied around something, then we would invoke change. They would have to fucking change. But we don't, because they keep us separated. Like, when the video first went out, we all agreed that was fucking awful. All of us. United. The cops should go to jail. United front. And they still caused it a black versus white thing. Like, it's just fucking nuts. The government holds way too much fucking power. That's why I always, my dad had a great fucking saying. Just play the game. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my thing and make the most out of it and then eventually die and that'll be that. But we're not going to change. So, speaking about the twins, they were talking about Joe Biden. God, fucking so cocky. So, he said one thing that was stupid. He said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. That's fucking stupid. I still don't want to think stupid. Then he said something that wasn't off. He said that black people aren't as diverse as Mexicans. And what he meant in politicians. He didn't mean everything else. Like, for once, I'm not, bashing on him. He said politics. And he's right. If you take a look at it, 90% of the African American population votes Democrat every year. What he was talking about was 60-40 for Mexicans. See how that's a little more? This man is so fucking cocky that he doesn't care what comes out of his mouth. They are guaranteed the black vote. Like, come on. Are you fucking serious? He can go out and say he's a fucking Nazi. And he'd still get 85% of the black vote. And I watched the history. I watched this. Because everybody wants to take down the... That's the last thing I want to talk about. Taking down the statues and the Confederate flag being a hateful flag. Yes, it was flown by the Confederacy. I understand where you're coming from. However, that's not what the flag means. The flag is actually more religious than the United States flag is. It means more to represent. Now, if we're going to get rid of these hateful symbols, we gotta get that had happened in the past and don't happen now. They mean a totally different thing now. Bye to the Democratic Party. Like, see you the fuck later. Because, first of all, Confederate was Democratic. KKK was made by Democrats. There was a Democrat who came out on national television and said that we are going to, and he called them, he used the N-word. I'm not using the N-word. Like, openly. Like, of course, it's like 60 years ago. But they have bought and twisted and motivated the votes of the black population since then. It's just nuts. And they were the ones that were behind the Jim Crow laws. They were the ones that were behind slavery. So if we're going to take down these statues of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, you want to take all these statues down, well, let's disband the Democratic Party. If you ask me, let's disband the fucking government and start over. All of it's fucked. But, like, you can't pick and choose what hate. And if we're going to do that, let's go even further. Let's just disband the whole human fucking race while we're at it. Because at one point in history, somebody owned slaves. We can trace this shit back to the Egyptians who owned white, it's not even white, and peach. who owned slaves for 5,000 years. Until Moses came and said, no more, motherfuckers. Leave my people. Where's their retribution? That make the Egyptians pay? Like, you can't, man. Everybody in history has conquered a civilization. Everybody in history has done some fucked up shit. Romans did some fucked up shit. They were just having sex with everybody, sacrificing every fucking thing to every god. Males were even having sex with males in order to show dominance. Not a love thing, not a everybody loves thing. But no, this is my fucking house. I'm the dominant male. I'm gonna fuck you up the ass. Like, everybody in history has done some fucked up shit. And then we learn from it and we go, okay, no more fucked up shit. It's just like with your parents. My grandparents on my dad's side were old-fashioned, wrath of God, whoop your ass. Then my dad strayed away from that, and he was harsh, but it wasn't the wrath of God. And then I took, the good and bad from my parents, and I went, yes, this works, and no, this did not work, growing up in that situation. But that's what society has done. It's called evolution. We have evolved mentally into, okay, that's not okay no more. But you can't erase it. You cannot erase it. It's not a symbol for hate. It is a symbol for, and a reminder for how far we've overcome, how much we've overcome, how far we've come as a civilization. It's a reminder. You cannot run from your past. That doesn't work that way. It is there now, ever sketched in fucking history. Can't run from it. Can't change it either. Can't change it by taking some fucking statues down. It's not going to change anything. What we can do is look to the future and change the way we do stuff from now on. Like, this whole defunding the police thing is ridiculous to me. And only because I think they'd be funded more because I think they need better training. I think that's the problem. I think there needs to be better screening. And if you do screening, it means you got to hire people to do screening. You need more money. And they need to be trained like soldiers are trained. I had to go through 9 weeks of boot camp before I became in the Army. But I can go through a couple weeks of police officer training and become a cop right now. My fat belly out of shape ass. Because I've had both. I took criminal justice for 2 years. I know the qualifications to be an officer. It's like 35 push-ups in 2 minutes and 8, like an 8-minute mile. Not to brag, but I ran like a 6:45. Yeah. Can't do that shit now. I could drive a mile. I'm too fat for that. But I bet you $100 I can get in the police department before I can go back to the Army. But that's a problem. They need better trained. They need better training for scenarios to hide to de-escalate something. Because there's a difference between going up to somebody and start screaming and demanding your authority, than coming up to somebody and assisting the situation and going, okay, this is the approach I need to take to remove all emotion from you in order to assess where you need to be and where you need to take this to. There's a difference. It's hard, man. It needs more training, not less. You start taking the funds away from police officers, and they're not going to want to fucking do their job. Who wants to work for free? Ain't nobody wants to work for free, period, for starters. Second of all, you're not going to risk your fucking life for fucking pretzels. It's not happening. And the whole, let's fund counselors and get people in help. Okay, that will help we should do more of that, but that's to help the generation young now. Because it's easier to teach children how to deal with stuff than it is adults. Because usually adults are set in their fucking way. So, you're really going to send a therapist into an area controlled by the Crips or the Bloods and tell everybody to hand over their fucking guns. They're illegal guns, by the way. Illegal weapons. And you just tell them they're just gonna hand it to this 5'4", 130-pound fucking dude wearing glasses? Fuck no. No, they're not. Because they're not gonna want to give up their power. You're not gonna do that with the Crips. You're not gonna do that with the Bloods. You're not gonna do that with the fucking Hells Angels. It's not happening. We need law enforcement to do that shit. And what are you gonna do when somebody breaks the law? Defund the police, no police. Okay, what happens when somebody breaks the law? Who's gonna punish them? I know we have the court system, and they can be punished that way and thrown to jail. But who's going to physically go pick them up and bring them to jail? I'll wait. Because everybody is saying defund the police. None of you are going to do it. And without police, you're just going to make vigilantes a thing. Somebody's going to dress up as motherfucking Batman. And be like, we get fucking Judge Dredd type shit. People running around going, I am the law. God, that was horrible. Anyways, it doesn't work, man. What works is a stricter system. That will work. But I've always said that. I've always said that teachers, police officers need to be paid more, and they need more training. Teachers shape our generation. They shape our future. And police officers should go back to serving and protecting. But if you defund them, then you won't be able to get that. They won't be able to get the... Looks like my eyebrow. You really see my eyebrow scar. Anyways. You won't be able to get that protection. As Kalamazoo just seen. Like I said, you cannot bitch because they use excessive force and then want them to come save you. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. So, I'm happy to hear other points of views. I will listen to them. I'm not going to call anybody stupid. I'm not going to argue with anybody. Because here's the thing, man. What I've learned is that your point of view is yours. I may not agree with it, but it may not be wrong. You know, I may not be wrong. I may not be right. I could be wrong about all of this. And that defunding the police somehow, some magical way, everybody acts like humans. Yeah, see, I can't even do it. I can't do it. No, defund the police. There was a survey a long time ago that asked people if they can get away with a crime, would they do it? If there was no punishment, would they do it? And that went from the lowest side of the spectrum all the way to the highest. But 80% of everybody who took that survey said yes. There's no authority. People are going to break the rules, man. Who's gonna enforce the rules? You might as well just have no rules, and then the whole thing's just gonna burn to the fucking ground. No, it's just, and there has to be a middle ground. There has to be a compromise somewhere in there, and I will do everything I can to find it. Anyways, with that being said, much love. JD out.